All right, just gone live. I'm just going to give it a few seconds to let people jump on to our live session. So we'll just listen to the lovely sounds of the crickets and the birds. Cool. We've got a few watching. I'll still just give it a few more seconds and then we'll jump into it. Cool. All right. So welcome, guys. My name's Tammy. I'm part of the 776BC team in the headquarters office in Melbourne. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I've been in the industry for about 10 years or so. I also am an Olympic weightlifter and I compete currently as a masters athlete in the 35 to 39 category in the under 64 kilos. So I'm excited about when the season gets back on track. I'm continuing to train for the season for when it does start back. And hopefully it's not too far away. But for you today, basically what we're going to run through, there'll be about 3 different sections of our session today. So we'll start off with a warm-up together. We'll go through that, and then I'm going to take you through some squat fundamental basics. So just stripping back that squat and getting the basics right. And then we're going to finish off with a bit of a lung burner of a workout. So for anyone that knows me knows that conditioning I don't do too much of, so I'm going to throw a challenge out to you guys once we get up to that part. All right, so we've got quite a few online now. Let's jump into this warm-up. We'll run through 3 rounds together. Starting off, we're going to do Cossack lunges, inchworms, and back rolls. So no equipment needed, just a little bit of space. So I'm going to move over so that you guys can see me. Hopefully you can still hear me as well. So starting off with that Cossack lunge, we take a nice wide stance, and effectively what we want to do is go from side to side, bringing up the toe. Not sure you can see my toe in that view. So come with me. That'll be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, coming down into that inchworm. So we want to come down into that push-up, back to your set-up position. So we're going for 5 reps. Rep 2. 3. 4. And 5. And then find yourself a little bit of space on the floor for some back rolls. So we'll do 10 reps of the back roll. Just hug those knees into the chest and a small back roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 1 round through. Let's repeat 2 more rounds. Back to that Cossack lunge, nice wide stance. 12 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Straight into 5 inchworms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Down onto the floor for your 10 back rolls. Again, you can keep these nice and small or start to make them a bit bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, last round through of this warm up. Back to those Cossack lunges. See if you can go a little further this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5-inch ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lastly, 10 back rolls to finish our warm up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. All right, hopefully we're warm. I am. It's actually quite a nice evening in Melbourne, so I can't complain. All right, let's jump into some squat basics. So the one thing that I guess as being a strength and conditioning coach is that my primary focus with anyone I work with is that we move well. So it doesn't really matter how long you've been doing something for, there's always minor adjustments we can make to get you movement efficiencies. It's also about injury prevention. So the focus on the squat today is really going to be setting up from the ground up. So we'll spend about 5 or 10 minutes here just stripping back that squat. If you have cushy shoes on, I'd recommend taking them off and being in feet, or if you've got flat shoes on, they'll be fine. Okay, so the first thing we're going to focus on, it, like I said, will be the feet. Think of them as like the pyramid, and we work our way up. So hopefully you're going to be able to see my feet. See how we go. But basically what I'm going to get you to do to start off, just do 5 air squats the way you normally would. So it's 5 squats at your own pace. Okay, remember what those 5 squats feel like as we start to make a few adjustments. So first thing you want to do, just plant those feet where you would normally put them. I'll never tell you where your feet need to be. Pop the feet where you would normally squat from. From there, just want you to rock back into the heels and into the toes. And then try and find that grounded point where you've got balance in the feet. So we don't want to be back in the heels and we don't want to be in the toes. So how do you find that grounding? You want to plant those feet on the floor. Okay, while you've got those feet planted on the floor, press the big toe into the floor to start off with. With that big toe pressed into the floor, let's aim for another 5 squats, nice and slow. Again, I'm not worried about your depth. Okay, see if you can notice any difference from the first 5 lot of squats that you might have done. They may feel a little bit different, or maybe that's already the way you squat. If we can get that balance through the feet, then we have a better opportunity to make sure that everything up the chain is then working correctly. So it always comes back to those feet. So now that we've got the feet and we've got we're thinking about the big toe, we want to see if we can get other engagement of other muscles. So I'm talking about the inner hamstrings and adductors. If we've got the big toe pressed into the floor, we're off to a good start. So first things first, find your stance, press that big toe into the floor. Now, try and feel like you're trying to separate the floor with your feet. Don't roll out onto the sides of the feet. Keep that big toe planted. So big toe planted, try and pull those mats apart. What you should be feeling hopefully is some engagement up through that inner thigh and adductor. So from there, big toe, pull the mats apart, another 5 squats. Nice and slow. Okay, hopefully that's feeling a little bit different. When you slow a movement down and you actually focus on what you're feeling, hopefully you were able to feel that change, that activation in through that inner thigh. Usually when I'm working with someone in a one-on-one environment, if they can push out, or if I can push your leg in while you're doing that movement, I know you're lacking that activation. So if you're working alongside someone at home, while you're doing that squat, if someone tries to push your leg in, and they can, you haven't got that tension on that we need in the squat. Therefore, the legs are likely to start to come in, especially if we've got a load as a back squat or front or whatever it is that you might be doing. All right, so we've got our feet. We're trying to get the activation of those adductors. The hardest one I always find for people to add in is, can we brace? The easiest way to think about bracing is to find those obliques. So your obliques, you've got your lower abs, and your obliques are here on the side. They're kind of like the side of the lower abs, if you like. So what you want to do from there is press those in with your fingers, 2 fingers, and try and push it away. So what will happen there, we come in from this tilted position to this. So my hips are going to tuck under. If I kick it back out, you can see that's the shape of my spine. That's a good shape. That's the way we normally walk around. But if I now want to activate, press those obliques, push my fingers away. Okay, so that's now a nice, strong, braced position. If I was then again to be popping a load anywhere on my body, I'm probably in the most safest position possible to take that load without loading up through my back. So let's do that one together. Hopefully you've been doing it as I've been explaining it. Find those obliques, 2 fingers, press in, and then push your fingers away. And relax. Let's do it 2 more times. Find those obliques, push the fingers in, and now try and push your fingers away. And relax. Let's do this 1 more time. Find the obliques, push the fingers in, and push away. Okay, hopefully it's clear enough on screen. You can see where the shape of my body is changing into that braced position. Now we want to add that on to our air squat, but we still start with the feet. So let's go back through step by step. Find your squat position with your feet, press the big toe into the floor, pull the mats apart, and now you want to add in those obliques. So I'm going to do it while I'm actually holding on to my obliques, creating that tension. So when you're ready, again, try for 3 to 5 reps. Don't worry about the depth. You're just aiming to see what you can feel as you move through this. Okay, big toe, mats pulled apart, obliques are on. Okay, that's my 5 reps. I know with my 5 reps, personally, I do find it hard to maintain keeping that tension on. I can't always resist away against my fingers, but that's okay. It takes time to practice that, but it'll always come back to getting the feet correct. So if we can get those feet first and build on everything from there, that will be the number one thing that I would pick that you would start with. So we'll finish off just one more set of squats, just building up like we have, just to reinforce what it feels like. Want you, when you do this set, to have a think about what that very first set of squats felt like before I started to explain anything in terms of the feet and the big toe and everything. So let's set it up together. Find your squat position, press the big toe into the floor, pull the mats apart, find those obliques, push the fingers away, 3 to 5 squats. And rest. So the most important thing I'll say to take away from this is knowing what you felt when you were doing this. So everyone will feel something different. Like I said, for me, I know that I don't necessarily maintain that brace position the whole way down. So that's something I need to work on and be aware of. So if you found it challenging maybe to keep the feet in contact with the floor, or you're rolled out onto the sides of the feet or back into the heels, again, that's just something to be aware of and try and find a cue for yourself so that you're able to fix that. Because again, if you can get these basics right, this is about injury prevention and being able to move well, particularly once you start to do higher reps or add more load. But if there's any questions or something didn't make sense, please comment on the video and I'm happy to go back afterwards and answer any questions. Hopefully everyone got maybe something out of that. Like I said, it doesn't matter how long you've been squatting, there's always something that you can aim to improve, and we should continually aim for that anyway. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of a workout and then finish off with some cool down stretches. So with our workout for today, it's really basic and straightforward, but I always say that these ones on paper that look easy are usually the ones that we walk away and wonder what just happened. So you don't really need anything. What I am going to say is maybe have a piece of paper or something that you can write down your reps, because I'm going to throw out the challenge for you to see if you can beat my reps. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's see how we go. So the way that this one will work, it will be 10 minutes and it's interval style training. So every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, so 10 rounds, you will start every minute. We will do 10 air squats. So just as we were practicing in the skill, 10 air squats. Once you've done your 10 air squats, the remainder of that minute, you're trying to achieve max effort burpees. Okay? You can be as strategic as you like with this workout. You can aim for a certain number of burpees and give yourself a rest before the next minute comes over. You can pace, you can go fast. Try them all, it's up to you. So your score today will be the total number of burpees that you achieve over the 10 rounds. And so once you've recorded that down, that's what I'm saying, grab a pen and paper to write them down. I'm gonna get you to put them in the comments afterwards and we'll see who got the highest. Like I said, it shouldn't be too hard to beat me, but we'll see how we go. So I'm gonna call out the times. I've got a timer here. I won't have music going. I also suggest maybe to have some music going. I will call out when there's 10 seconds left and when we change into the next minute. So again, 10 air squats at the top. So just your regular air squat, lock out at the top. Once you've done those, straight into your burpees. So it'll be as simple as that. I reckon we jump straight into it. 10 minutes of work, write down the number of burpees. Let's see how we go. My timer is going to give us a 3-second count in. Just grab my chalkboard. Might need a layer off. All right, here we go. 10 minutes of work in 3 seconds. And go. So remember, 10 squats. Rest of the time, now burpees. Halfway. Seconds. And off we go, 10 squats. Whew. Seconds. We got 12 that round. Okay. And round 3, 10 squats. Whew. Oh. 10 seconds. It's going downhill fast for me. And go. 10 squats. Okay, 5 seconds, guys. And go. 10 squats. Halfway. Whee. Okay, that's halfway through. And go. seconds. And off we go. Ten seconds. Okay, last 2 rounds. And off you go, 10 squats. Okay, 10 seconds. This is our final round. One last push. And off you go, 10 squats. Wow, I was going to catch my breath. I'll have to admit that that first round, I couldn't count and tell you guys the time. So I'll have to go back and have a look how many reps I did. I'm claiming 17. I think that's a bit far-fetched. I don't know about anyone else. If you try to find a rep range, say it was like 5 or 6, whatever it was, and try and maintain it. If I was to do it again, I would probably aim for 8 or 10 every round. I started at 17 apparently, and then 12s, 10s, maintained 8s, but I probably could have just ended up with more reps if I had stayed with a constant target every single round. So excuse me while I catch my breath. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to pop your scores in once you work them out. But what we'll do now, let's bring that heart rate back down. Finish off with just a little bit of stretching. We did a few squats, just a lazy 100, including the skill work that we did. So, Cam, 118. Well done, Cam. Let's do some stretches. It's always ideal when you finish a workout like this where your adrenals and everything are up high. We want to bring that back down so we're not in that constant stress, fight or flight situation. So again, just find yourself a little bit of floor. Oh yeah, you can see me. Okay, let's just start off nice and easy, bringing the soles of the feet together and popping the elbows onto the knees, just pushing out onto those legs. You should feel this again through that inner thigh and adductor. And then try and get your breathing back in check. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Okay, bringing both legs out in front. Take one leg across and you want to hug that knee and look the opposite way. So it should look like this. Swap sides. Okay, just coming into that downward dog. So a bit of a yoga position. And alternating, bringing one heel at a time to the floor. Hold the right heel down. And change to hold the left. Good. Walk the feet all the way into the hands and slowly roll up. Last couple of stretches. Bring one foot behind, reach across. Just get a nice stretch right down that side. Change sides. Good, and then just shake it out. All right, hopefully those heart rates have come back down a little bit. Let's get those scores in. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if there are any questions that you have, particularly in regards to the format or the squats sequence that I did, or the squat fundamentals, pop them in the comments. Happy to answer them once we've finished. But thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the athletes that will be taking you through your paces as well. So hopefully see you guys next week. Thanks.